Well, hello everybody, BugEater64 here, and today we are going to be doing a flight in the C-46. We're going to be flying from Galveston up to Dallas-Fort Worth, and as you can tell, we've got some pretty horrendous weather going on right now. This is real-world weather, and we got some thunder and lightning, and we're just going to see if we can get this girl there without causing us too much trouble. We're going to be doing a couple things. I'm using Tobii HeadTracker because right now we're flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator Beta 4, and I've run into an issue using my Quest 3 to where my frame rates just die. So right now you can see that whoa, hit the wrong one. Been that kind of moron. We're doing right now, and before we loaded, the startup screen was at 670. This is between in the 60s to maybe 59, and so we'll see how things go. If I went into my Quest 3, we'd be down to 2 and 4 frames, so something's really lagging it down real bad. So with that, let's get inside the aircraft and let's get things started. So hopefully everything goes well. This is the first flight that I've made in the 2024 updated version of the C-46. So let's go. See you inside. Alrighty. Okay, our bearing to our destination, Dallas-Fort Worth, is 333. That so I can actually see these gauges. So one problem with this airplane, when you got the yoke up, you can't see squat. Here. Radio compass. Okay, none of this works until after I get off the ground. I should have realized it. Okay, ailerons, elevator, rudder. Okay. Alright, so let's get out onto the runway. Let's lock the tail wheel. We got our flaps in takeoff position. And we are airborne. Positive rate, gear up. Okay, flaps up. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so we are we're going to change this to auto rich. Okay, so still climbing. Now it doesn't appear that I can get the autopilot. Okay, so for some reason I can't get the autopilot to turn on and off. Everything's on there. Over 7,000 feet. Looks like we got some rain. Okay. This heading. Eight. 228 miles. So it looks like I'm going to have to hand fly this. 8,000 feet. So, what's this heading? At 340. Okay, so got her trimmed up pretty good. Yeah.
Flight sim up there, right? Could you? How could you?
Looks like our co-pilot woke up.
Who's your co-pilot?
I don't know, he's talking to me. How you doing today, co-pilot?
Are you streaming?
Yeah.
Recording for YouTube?
Yep.
Oh man, I don't know. I can't figure out this issue. I decided for the airline that I was going to start flying the A320 instead of the 319 because there are more liveries and more stuff available to it, Phoenix. And I ended the flight in Miami, purchased one in FS Airlines, and had it converted. And of course, it was going to need to be both transferred to Miami, and then it was going to need to be converted to, you know, our airline with all the first class stuff. So I'm getting that done, which means I'm not going to be able to fly the aircraft. This was Friday night, and I had work the next day, so it was going to sit. But I got in the sim, connected to Miami, which it was nighttime. I had downloaded some new scenery that I wanted to see, but you couldn't see it because it was thundering and lightning. But the sim was working just fine. Then fast forward to Sunday, I go to Miami to do a flight to Cancun last night, and immediately upon loading into the sim, that stuttery when you're moving your head in VR is it's really bad. Like the frame rate drops to like 15, maybe 20, and it's really noticeable.
Oh yeah.
And I'm flying out over the Gulf of America between Key West and Cuba, so it's not like we're heavy on the scenery at all. There's not really much weather out there either. There was some storms behind me, but nothing in front of me. But yet it was doing that all the way. So I landed in Cancun. It was still doing it. So I jumped in. I restarted the entire computer because I had been playing FAS for a couple hours that day. Same exact thing. Okay, this morning, log back in, try it, same exact thing. Okay, let me check the Vision Jet. Maybe it's the Phoenix module, same exact thing. It's like this is what it was doing the other day when I canceled my membership, or when I asked for a refund, and then it just suddenly magically started working. And I didn't do anything, I didn't change anything. But I was like, okay, well if it starts to work like this, I'll just keep playing it out till my Game Pass expires and I'll buy the game again. And then it just started doing this again. It's like there's a lot of complaints about the sim in VR, but most of our people in here don't fly in VR, so I don't know. I may be back in X-Plane now out of a necessity just because it doesn't look it works for VR right now.
Well, I'm using Tobii because even my Quest 3, and I'm getting, you know, 60s and 70s frame rates, but when I go into VR, it drops to 2 and 4, completely unusable. So I had to switch back to Tobii.
Is it possible that you just don't have your VR settings optimized?
No, it's not.
Because I was going to say you have the graphics settings, and this is where I don't understand is they have the graphics settings for just the general sim, and then they have VR specific graphics settings.
And I've adjusted those.
Okay. Because I know, like, I've turned my dynamic performance off so that it's manual to me, and then I've gone through and compared like VR Flight Sim Guy and other YouTubers, and said, okay, I'm gonna go a little bit lesser than that. It's almost like when I had it the first time around that the problem did not fix itself. It was almost like the sim was ignoring the settings. I couldn't look at anything and tell you that it was any different, but it felt like the sim was just ignoring settings. Because then all of a sudden, on a restart, everything was working. And the frame rates were smooth, but now they're right back to doing nonsense, and there was no sim update, at least not published, and anything where the Xbox application showed me it was downloading something or told me it was going to.
Right.
Between this Friday and this Sunday when I logged in, no updates to the Phoenix aircraft, but this wasn't specific to Phoenix. It was everything. So I'm not sure. I'm really perplexed as to what happened to my sim. It is so much online. Or no, if there's some micro changes to something that just don't get published in a full-blown update. The sim just relies so much on a connection to servers and that relationship between the servers and you resulting in a good experience. But I just don't know. I'm at a loss. Like, what do I do? Because I mean, I'm not worried about it. I got to X-Plane. X-Plane's behaving very well. It has its problems, but they're being worked on. But this is like, well, it's not flyable. It is flyable, but it's really unacceptable. And that's what frustrates me is software. I didn't change anything. No updates to my computer. No updates to NVIDIA graphics card drivers. Nothing between it working and it not.
Yeah.
It's just like... Well, tried to uninstall. I downloaded 4 sceneries. I never download scenery, but there were 4 sceneries: Miami, Dallas, Houston, and Austin. And they were a grand total with tax of $30 for all 4 of them. Custom downtown for all of them. It's like, okay, I'll $30 for 4 cities that I do fly into a lot. Let's go. Taking those out now. Last night's flight did start in Miami, but the problems now are in Cancun. We didn't have to refresh sim load, so there should be no reason why any of those assets should be loaded. But just in case something is drastically wrong with the sim, and maybe for some reason there are 4 major cities that are all loaded in right now. I mean, I don't know. I'll give it one more try, but I think if this is the way things are going to go, where you just don't, you're simply working one day and not the next. And X-Plane, you're going to know, because the only 2 ways X-Plane can break is when the weather server breaks. The sim will still work just fine. It's just your weather is going to be broken and could be rolling you over. And then the other thing is if they push an update. But with Microsoft, it just feels like, well, that should be the only way things could break is the weather or an update. But do we always know when an update's pushed?
Yeah. Well, my Sperry autopilot, I can't get it to turn on in this aircraft, so I'm having to fly this whole flight. Luckily, it's a short flight by hand.
Is that the C-46 you're flying today?
Yep. And I was going to try and use the Sperry, because I've used one before. And, okay, bearing 336, 189 miles to go.
All kinds of promotions for climax now. Sad, gonna have to sit this generation out.
Okay, so we are sitting. Why are you? You shouldn't be dropping this much.
Timmy's pulled out. Stuff would be nice.
And we're on our oxygen. Okay, now 336. Yes, and we're using our Flying Tiger livery, which looks very cool. Alright, so track is 337. That's good enough. Airspeed's 183 knots. Altitude 11,300 feet above the ground. That'll work. Yeah, we're carrying 18 passengers and I think about 5,000 pounds of cargo.
What's the, you doing Greenville, Spartanburg, or somewhere else?
No, Galveston
I like Galveston.
to Dallas.
I like Dallas. Right in my area. I could have taken the helicopter. I've got the helicopter over there somewhere. I could have raced. I could have raced the C-46 in the helicopter.
Yeah, that's true. She's not fast, but she is cool. Yeah. I'm losing airspeed. Did my engines just quit?
Lord, not this again. We have seen this before.
Yeah, okay. They're back on. Had to switch fuel tanks. Oh. Been a while since I flew this lady. Yes, that could have been nasty. Alright, so let's get back on track here. We got 42.6 miles to go. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so we switched to fuel tanks, and as we can see, the left engine uses a lot more fuel than the right. That is not a good thing, but we'll deal with it here. It's what foiled us in our first attempt of this flight. Okay, 33 miles to go. Take a look at the map. Yep, KDFW. Yeah, back up here. Okay, airport's bearing 319. .2 miles ahead. Okay. Okay, we got 9 miles. Okay. Okay, so we go down here. Okay, airspeed's about 150, so that's our all right. Gear down. Yeah. Open the cowl flaps.
Yep.
This is not
Yeah,
the first time
there you have it.
this has happened.
I mean, very rarely are the
This is
modules
what happens
actually-
when you run out of fuel. And we're going to show you, this was our first attempt at making this flight. We were 24 miles short of Dallas Fort Worth, and this is what it looks
I mean,
like.
is it leaning?
And if you go
Is it
down
leaning
here,
properly, or-
you can notice that the fuel gauges were all empty.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's
anyway,
bad.
hope you enjoyed the flight, and from Bug Eater 64 to everybody else,
I don't know, man. See, given the
hope you enjoyed it. Glad
given
you
how we had the
came,
thing of the AN2 as well, I'm led to
and
believe that, like,
what you got to see
developers just aren't doing
before
any modeling properly.
was the final
Most of them keep
attempt.
talking.
But you notice all three fuel gauges down here
Well,
are
it's not-
just empty. So let's see if we can get out of this airplane. No, it's not going to let us out there.
like the
Well,
17th.
and you can see the trees coming through the fuselage. So
Yeah.
not a
It
not a
looks like
good
the
day.
idea was good enough to
We're ending to a
You
flight.
take a screenshot of this right here. Or,
So, and you
Here.
can
Look to your left again. All right.
Here we see the weird commando in its natural habitat, trying to get some grass to eat.
yeah. We got the landing gear down and we tried to land in the field, but it didn't go well.
Let me
As
tell
you can
about
tell.
the birds and the bees. Where are you? Where are you? Where?
Can you try
I'm in the
this?
middle of a field in the middle of trees. Have a great day.
And by the sun don't